In today's video, we're dealing with statistics. We'll be starting off by defining some terms to help us understand what we're doing next after these videos. So we're going to talk about experiment. Experiment is a procedure that is carried out under controlled conditions. As scientists, we know when we've done many experiment to show that air occupies space, experiment to show simple pendulum. We have many experiments. So a trial, next up is a trial. A trial is the repetition of these experiments. So it is a single performance of an experiment. A trial is a single performance of an experiment. When we repeat an experiment several times to get one performance, it's what we call a trial. That is flipping a coin. You can flip several times. So we have many trials. Are you getting it? So the key word over here is the single performance. An outcome is a result of the single trial of an experiment. So the results we get in the repeated experiment is what we call the outcome. So outcome is the result of a trial of an experiment. With a sample space, it is a set of all possible outcomes of a random experiment. So the results we get from the trials of the experiment, or the total outcomes, is what we call the sample space. And the sample space is denoted by the letter S. And we have types of sample spaces. We have when the sample space is 1. When the sample space is discrete, that is, it consists of finite or countable infinite set of outcomes. So it means that you can count the variables, the outcomes. And we have 2, the continuous. This contains the continuous. It contains intervals of real numbers. Let's solve some examples. Let's say S is a sample space for a certain set. So we have X within the range of 1.5 and 5. This is a continuous sample space. And let's to know that a recycle time has only 3 values. We know that 1, it can be low, medium, or even high. And let's solve one last sample space and a discrete, because you can count these 1, 2, 3. Does a camera conform to medium recycle time specifications? You say that yes or no. This is also discrete. That is, the event. At times you hear of, I'm going to this event. Oh, it's organized by these people. Hey, really? Nah. So let's go to event. Event is a subset of the sample space of a random experiment. So the sets are sets of outcomes. These events are set of outcomes. That is, we know that the outcome is as a result of the trial of the experiment. And now we know that the event is also the subset of the sample space. So these dots over here are the event. And the whole box over here, the rectangle or the square over here, is the subset. That's the total possible outcomes. outcome. So the set, let's say an event of observing exactly 2 late messages. That is, we have on time, late. We have late, on time, late. We have late messages, on time messages. And let's look at one event too. By observing the total score of 8 of 2 dice of a die. So we know that we have event 1, where we have one die having 2 and another die having 6. Event 2, where we have 3 for the first die, 5 for the second die. Event 3, we have 4, 4. Event 4, 5, 3. And the last, we have all in this set. That is a die. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So to get possible 8, when this die we get 2 as a result of it, we are applying all these terms we've learned over here. So when we throw the die, this first die we get 2, this second die we get 6, we now have 8. So this event 1, we get 3 for this die, 5 for this die, 4 for this die, 4 for this die, 5 for this die, 3 for this die, 6 for this die, 2 for this die. We have all of this having a total score of 8. So by throwing the die several times, it's an experiment. But repeating this experiment for several times is what we call a trial. And the result of the trial, we getting 8 is the outcome. And the total outcome of all these sets is what we call the sample space. And the event is the subset of these sample spaces, the set of outcomes. I hope you like this video on the definition of terms, introduction of statistics.